Welcome into episode 25 live of Ramie and Drew. I am Ramie Mackloff. That is Drew Flaggy after a 123-85 drubbing of the Charlotte Hornets out at the Fiserv Forum tonight. Drew, they had 26 points at halftime. I had to do a double take. Because I was watching the game, but I was also making dinner. I was making a delicious like chicken and veggie rice bowl. It was great. Anyways, I had to rewind when they went to halftime. I was like, wait, was I really I thought I was paying close attention. Was I that tuned out while I was making dinner? I was like, because it sounded like they said, and they sure looked like a 26 on the scoreboard for Charlotte at halftime. That is, I know they're not good. I know the Charlotte Hornets are not good, but man, holding an NBA team to 26 points at halftime is, on the one hand, impressive. On the other hand, for Charlotte, fucking embarrassing. Dude, 26 points and a half.
Yeah, so the Charlotte Hornets they've been playing well, not to take anything away from them. The last team, I believe, to beat the Charlotte Hornets was the Milwaukee Bucks. They are, man, that's a great mug. Dude, the 26. The best tweet of the night is definitely Eric Name, where he said somebody hit a shot to cut the lead to it was the Bucks lead to 38 to 24, and then the next basket cut the lead to 56 to 26 or something. It was just it was so bad. They went 8 minutes without scoring. Dude, I took my notebook to the bar. I was like, all right, I'm gonna take notes on this game.
Good. You're a professional. You took your notebook to the bar before you went on the air. That's good. That's professional shit right there.
But I was like, I wanted to see if Damian Lillard was gonna come out aggressive. If we were gonna see more and more of what we've been kind of asking for coming out of the All-Star break. And then we just beat the shit out of them, and I'm like, there's no use taking notes in this one. It was just a handling from the beginning to the end. And it's we got 12 straight minutes of Thanasis tonight. That is gonna be that might be nominated for an Emmy for the best comedy special of the year.
I was watching the game in the third quarter, and I was like, man, are we gonna see Thanasis for an entire quarter of basketball? Is this about to happen? And it fucking did. It happened.
Do you know what's crazy? That Thanasis came in before Marjan Beauchamp. That's crazy. That's a wild thing. It's Thanasis is not the 15th man on that roster. That is wild.
That's how far Marjan Beauchamp has fallen out of the rotation, and he really has, man. I don't think he's in the good graces of Doc Rivers. I don't think Doc was impressed in his time as a consultant when he wasn't a consultant for the Milwaukee Bucks and what he saw from Marjan Beauchamp.
Yeah. I don't know. Hopefully next year, next year will be Marjan's year, but
I think his time is about run up. But honestly, that's not the point of tonight's show. I said, Drew, 26 points in a half. I don't care if it's against the Hornets. And you're right. The Hornets have been playing better of late. They're not a good basketball team, but they've been playing better of late. And by the way, folks can get in on the show. I just tweeted out the link. At Ramie is tweeting. He's at Drew F is on fire. Follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe, follow, rate, review, tell a friend, do all the stuff that'll help us grow this thing and be a bigger, badder podcast for you, covering the Milwaukee Bucks and all the other things that you love. But Drew, to hold any team to 26 points in a half is ridiculous. That's unheard of. That does not, you don't hold, it's hard to hold a college team to 26 points in a half of basketball. That I don't know. I don't want to get carried away, and I don't know when we can say this and it's not getting carried away. When can we say Doc Rivers' defensive improvement for this basketball team is for real based on what we've seen? We said the other day on the show yesterday on the show that they're sixth in total defense since Doc Rivers took over for them, or since Adrian Griffin was fired. I'd imagine they move up, giving up 26 points and a half tonight. I'd imagine they move up those rankings. At what point do we go, This might be something here. They might have figured out their defense.
Did you know that the Charlotte Hornets defense since the trade deadline was number 1 in the NBA?
I did not know that. I
They
did
are.
not know that.
And here's the thing. Here's the only reason I know that is because the Dunker Spot was talking about that on their podcast today. About like the one of their big points they wanted to talk about was the Bucks and their improved defense. And then how they were going up against Charlotte tonight. We just beat the shit out of them. Like that was you could call it. I kind of like them beating Miles Bridges. Like that's kind of funny that they beat him that bad. Like Giannis abused him. That was nice tonight.
Well played.
There was the Pat Connaughton dunk. I got really excited for that. And then we might have gotten a new Giannis gift tonight of just Giannis just like running up and down the sidelines. Because I don't know if you noticed that when that dunk happened, Giannis was like going one way and Chris Middleton was going like the other way towards the scorer's table. Like everyone got up when Connaughton had that dunk. Like tonight was a good night. I just think for just team morale. Like this was a really good, because I was afraid going into this one that we played, we had a tough game against the Timberwolves and won that game. And obviously it was Dame time in the fourth quarter. Damian Lillard much more efficient in his game against Philadelphia, and I was like, all right, like this team's gonna go as our second best player or as our second best player goes. Damian Lillard tonight came out very aggressive, and that was actually my first note that I took before I kind of just stopped taking notes. After I'm like, oh, there's nothing
before you started using your notebook as a coaster for your Guinness.
Yeah, for all my Guinness. One per quarter.
For all your Guinnesses.
Yeah, dude. Bartender bought me one because I go every Tuesday because they got build your own burgers and it's a good deal at Natty Oaks. It's fantastic. It's good. Maybe they'll sponsor us. They probably won't.
I was gonna say we're giving out free plugs now. Natty Oaks should, if they want that type of attention, they should pay for it. Sure.
Yeah, well, I used to play softball for Club Paragon, so we get out of their softball team. So I don't know, like. I shouldn't have.
So you owe them one? What does that have to do with anything? So you owe them one?
No, I think they'd be reluctant to give sponsorships out.
Oh, because they're still feeling the pain from that big softball championship.
Oh, we didn't win the championship. We just beat the fuck out of their team. Listen,
dude, if they want to give us money, what's that got to do with anything?
Sometimes a crosstown rivalry means more than a championship. Like, if the Bulls can beat the Bucks on like when we play them Monday, that's going to mean a lot. Like Tyrese Halliburton thinks he's won 4 rings.
It only means more when you're shitty. It only means more when you're the little guy punching up, and it doesn't mean anything when the expectation is championship.
Yeah, that was never my expectation with my softball teams. We were kind of there for the ride. We were in the silver league, not the gold. It was we had used bats.
But Drew, back on track to what you were saying. That's and I think this is where you were going with it. They need, and I forget who it was. I heard somebody say this before the break. It might have been Bobby. They need some wins like this and like what we saw on Sunday, where it's easy and guys are having fun on the sideline. And you should be getting them against the Charlotte Hornets of the world. I know, like you said, they've been playing better. They were the number 1 defense apparently since the All-Star break, but they're still not a good basketball team, especially since they traded for Grant Williams. Like, they're not a good basketball team. So you should be mopping the court with teams like this. And that's exactly what they did. And I take great satisfaction in that. And I think that wins like that are valuable on the schedule when you can sort of breathe. We've talked about it on here. There have been games. There was one recently where we were like, this fucking team, you let these guys hang around till the end. Do you remember who I'm talking about? I don't know.
All of them, though. We lost to Portland. We lost to Memphis. Like, we lost, we were in a dogfight with the Detroit Pistons 2 nights in a row.
Yep.
We played the Spurs. We were in Wemby didn't even play against us in one of the games against the Spurs, like when they were in Milwaukee. I went to that game because that was like my birthday present for my sister. Like, we went to the game and Wemby didn't fucking play.
You bought yourself a ticket?
What?
You bought yourself a ticket as part of her birthday present?
No, my sister bought birthday bought tickets for the
Oh,
game.
so she bought herself a ticket.
No, I went. My sister bought it for my. We
Never mind. Carry on.
Are you, dude? You're doing the thing where it's like you're like, oh yeah, it's like your girlfriend that we've never seen. I'm like, why would I make up a sister that goes to a different school?
That's not what I was saying.
You
Carry
all
on. I'm
know my
sorry.
sister. No,
I
I know.
know she's very cool. I like her. Shout out.
No, but yeah, no, we went to the Bucks game, to see Wemby, honestly. But that game was a fucking dogfight. And it was like, what the hell's going on here? Like,
Yeah.
this was nice to beat a team you should beat, you should stomp, because the Celtics have only lost one game to a team like the Hornets all year long. Like, they're 11-1 against sub 500 teams, and it's like we wouldn't be in third place had we have just taken care of these teams earlier. I don't really care about playoff seeding right now as long as we're.
That's what I was just gonna say. From this point forward, I really don't give a shit about playoff seeding. I care about like this thing looking right come playoff time. You know what I mean? No matter, and you want to have home court advantage, and it helps if it comes down to 7 games. But more importantly, I want to look at this Bucks team and go, oh, okay, this is what I envisioned when they traded for Dame Lillard. That I want to be saying that come playoff time. Seeding is an afterthought after I make that assessment in my mind.
The first, so what I was saying about Damian Lillard, the first action that they ran with him, with their first true offensive possession that they got when they got into their half court, he went to the basket and then Giannis crashed, and Damian Lillard was never looking to score that ball. He was looking to pass to Giannis, and Giannis had 6 quick points in this game. And it was Damian Lillard facilitating almost all that. The first 5 minutes of the game, Lillard distributed the ball or shot the ball. I would say every decision he made was the perfect decision to make.
Oh, Drew just dropped out. And yeah, you could see, oh, Drew is back. You could see exactly what Drew is talking about, which is Dame is seeing the floor now. And he's taking the opportunities that he should, but he's also seeing the floor and seeing guys and the open shots that he should what's the word that I'm looking for? Concede to.
Yeah.
Or defer to.
He was looking to give the ball directly to Giannis on that first pass. That was great the way they drew it up. That was like, it wasn't a pick and roll, but it was a drive and kick, but with like a trailer almost. It was it was the perfect Dame Giannis thing. And with Dame not looking to go up with that ball, that made his attack after he took 2 3-pointers to start and missed them. And then he went out and he just went right to the rack. And that, again, just like I said about the Philly game, Dame being that aggressive that early and showing I'm going to score on you from somewhere, so you have to play on it, it made everybody better. It sets the tone. Like, it's really a big table setting thing. If Dame just does the easy things that get him a ton of easy looks and stuff, man, he makes everybody so much better. And the way he was passing that ball and guys were on their spots, he was trusting everybody. This was, when you look at what you want out of a perfect point guard tonight, I know it's Charlotte. I know they're not good. They were playing good defense. This is what you want your point guard to do. This was a perfect game for Damian Lillard, in my opinion.
Yep. And we've talked. Go ahead. Finish your thought. Yeah. No, you're right. It was because he needs to be the distributor and the quarterback of the offense, but he also needs to be a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more assertive than what we saw before the All-Star break. And that was an observation by a lot of people. Doc Rivers, Shaquille O'Neal, Pat Beverly, like the people who the quotes that we could pile up of people saying Dame needs to be a little less nice and defer a little bit less. We could do a half an hour on those quotes here on the show. But he also does need to know when to defer, and especially when you have there's a balance to this, and especially when you have a force as dominant as Giannis on the court at the same time as you know what I mean? Yep. It's a delicate balance of we need you to be assertive and aggressive. You're one of the greatest shooters and the greatest scorers of your generation and the top 75 player of all time. But you also have another top 75 player of all time alongside who's just as dominant in a different way. And you guys are going to open up and complement each other's games in a lot of ways. And it's really up to Dame more times than not to see how and when they do complement each other, and when it's time for him to take that shot, and when it's time for Giannis or anybody else to take that shot.
Damian Lillard had an alley-oop tonight to Giannis where he ooped it the way that he was like, it was in his shooting motion. He kind of pump faked and just went up with it like real quick. I was like, oh, dude, it's there. It's right there. Like we're ready to see those two just run that two-man game. The way like Chris and Giannis can just play off each other. If you got Dame and Giannis and Chris and Giannis just feeding the beast the entire time, dude, that's going to be crazy come playoff time. It's like this game to me was so much of just a practice all the things we need to get right.
Yep.
And I was happy we didn't kind of concede the game in the third quarter when it was over. Like we could have taken a knee and been like, yeah, we're up by 1,000,000 points. Like we could just stop. But it's like, no, there are things these guys got to work on. They got to be out there. And yeah, I do want Giannis to score 30 points. Like I said, like I want him to get that thing that the 30 points on 60% shooting. I want him to get that. Because he's been on the fringe of getting below 30.
He finished with what, 28, 29?
24, I think.
Oh, 24. You're right. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah. 24, 8 and 1 tonight.
Oh, there was one play, not to speak on, is something we talked about. This isn't a Giannis Dame thing, but Damian Lillard did a drive-in kick, and he got it to Pat Beverly in the corner. And when Bev hit that three, I almost fell out of my seat. I was like, yes. I was like, they're gonna just do it. Like those two are gonna do it together. Good. Like whatever their talk was at the dinner that they went to, like I said, like, being the businessman, just give the ball to the guy. It's fine. Like we're out here to do a job. And damn it, like when Pat Bev hit that shot, I was so happy for Pat Beverly. And then also Pat Beverly, the way he is such a hype man for every dude on that court. He's slapping Bobby's chest when Bobby makes a big bucket. Like,
dude, you know what's funny? We talked about how Pat Bev is, the classic. You love him if he's on your team, you hate him if he's on the other team. And I have people on my Twitter timeline from Minnesota because I worked there for a short time, for a couple of years, for their ESPN radio affiliate. And he played in Minnesota and he was a huge fan favorite. You know what I mean? And suddenly those same people not so happy with Pat Bev after the Minnesota game because he tweeted about Coach Finch walking off the court without shaking anybody's hands. And people are like, I used to like this guy. He's a piece of trash, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it's playing out right in front of your eyes of how much you love him when he's on your team and how much you hate him when he's on another team. Like it's right there. It's literally in writing right in front of you.
Okay, so like when I go to the gym and play basketball, there's always
Look at you. I go to the gym.
I'm not making like a thing, but I don't play basketball at my fucking condo complex's roundabout. I don't walk down the block and be like, hey kids, you want me to come play in your friend? I'm 34. I gotta go to the gym. But there's always one guy who's like the best dude in the gym who just he passes to everybody and he's like, shoot that shot, man, shoot that shot. Pat Beverly is like the professional version of that guy who's like, no, man, I'm going to get you the ball, dude. Like, you're going to keep shooting it. You're going to make it. Like that. Like, I really like that about him. He's a cool dude. I don't know. Like, it's just, he's fun. He just
I think he's a great teammate. I think his teammates love him the same way that fans love him, and also hate him the same way that fans hate him when he's playing for another team. He's real easy to root for, and he's real and he gets under your. He's real good at getting under your skin when he's the opponent or the enemy, and it's a great attribute to have as a professional athlete. It's a tremendous attribute to have, to be able to get under people's skin like that.
I don't want to hear people call him evil Drew Holiday anymore. Let's just call him.
I love that. No, I love that. I think that's great. I think that's fucking great.
dude, maybe he's just chaotic, neutral Pat Bev. Maybe that's all he is. Maybe he's just, I don't know, man. Maybe he's Loki. It's fine. Like, it's cool. Like,
why is he Loki?
Because he's mischief and he's fun and I like
Yeah,
him.
he is. He is mischief. He's mischievous. I told you we're going to shoot our shot. We're going to shoot our shot at Pat Bev coming on the podcast. And like you said, it's not a 9-0. It's not a non-zero chance that Pat Bev takes our invite if we tweet him with the StreamYard link. Which, by the way, anybody can get in right now. If you look at my Twitter account, the StreamYard link is right there. If you want to jump in on the Ramie and Drew show, like after the big win against the Hornets.
Every little thing that I was like, everything I was looking for in the game tonight, I'm like, yeah, that went out the window when we went up by 1,000 points.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the little things I really liked was like just the aggressiveness that the Bucks kept showing on defense. Like they didn't take plays off tonight. The ball was moving well. There weren't guys that were just standing around. Like everybody was moving. Everyone was making shots when they were getting them. And like I'll keep saying, Charlotte's been playing very good defense since the trade deadline. So this wasn't like, oh, we beat the shit out of a team that only had 16 wins. It's like they've been playing over their heads and maybe they ran out of gas against us. I don't care because the Bucks did not play down at all. I think that Doc has a good attitude towards the team. I think that he's a great players coach. And there are the new guys that are inserted in there that are trying their asses off. Like I think Gallinari's really playing hard. For the minutes he's out there, he's not the greatest defender. Pat Bev is Loki. Hell yeah, dude. I would cast him. Dude, put him in the multiverse. Who gives a shit? Honestly, let's do that. Let's get Pat Bev on the podcast. And let's convince him he needs to get in the MCU and be a multiverse Loki.
That's a comment from Keegan Ford on YouTube. You can also comment. Keegan also points out Ramie actually holds that microphone the entire time. Thought that was a podcast joke. Respect. And you know what? No, I hold it like this because I ordered the mic from the old Amazons, and I thought it came with a stand, and it does not. And I started looking at stands, Drew. But you know what? I kind of like this. This is how I would hold the mic on stage at a stand-up show. Well, kind of. It's not like the same type of mic, but I don't know. I feel like this kind of puts me into a groove. It puts me into a frame of mind that I like holding the mic like this. I think I'm gonna go standless for now, or maybe get a stand, and then I at least have the option if I want to go standless or keep the stand. But I kind of like this, I gotta say.
So you're saying that this is odd to me. That you are like, I got performance tunnel vision, but then also you have to pee. Like you don't have stage strength when you have a mic in your hand.
What? I've never had to leave the show to pee.
Yeah, but you've been like, we gotta like wrap it up because I am. You've insinuated a leak.
That is true. That is true. There has been a show or two where I was trying to wrap it.
We gotta go.
Also, we were like pretty much done. You know what I mean? We were near the end, and I had to pee. Yeah, but no, you're right. I do like my bladder is much for if you really want to know, my bladder is less active when performing. Like I don't know about you, I've never had to pee when I was on stage doing stand up. It's never I've never been like, oh my God, I gotta get off this stage right now. Like my brain knows it's like it's time to shut that down.
Yeah, it's called stage strength. It's a very real phenomenon that affects every great comic.
For sure, dude.
It's called your body just knows that you're there to entertain people. And see, that's the problem. You're drinking a giant water bottle right now.
Yeah, you got to stay hydrated, dude.
Do you know why I was 3 minutes late? Because I peed before I left the bar.
And I drank a mug of coffee.
Okay, so you got it. Okay. Well, you got a couple things going on down there now. But dude, like I've never had to fart on stage. I don't fart while I'm doing this podcast, and I'm in my living room.
Oh, I've farted a few times, and I wondered if the mic picked it up or not.
It didn't.
You've never heard anything, huh?
I'm letting people know that like I'm performing now, and it's for hopefully people's entertainment, or at least they're clipping it and being like, "Well, this fucking moron." But like,
yeah, I do that after every show. That's
yeah,
how do you think those clips get up on Twitter? That's me
yeah,
clipping and going, this fucking moron. Yeah.
yeah. If a comic ever goes up on stage and goes, "Oh, well, what am I? Oh, what do you guys want to talk about?" Just know that they suck, and it's not an act. They're not high. They're not drunk. They're just bad. Okay, fellow listeners, probably just Keegan or whatever that guy's name was. That
We
tweeted
have
like,
we have friends who do that. All right, you don't have to
we
do
have
that. You
friends
don't
that
have
do
to.
that. No,
Yeah.
we have associates that do that. My friends don't make excuses on stage. My friends come out to perform. My friends are all like Pat Beverly. They're there to
They
make
show up
everything
every night.
better.
And they're gonna piss off half the people in the room. Half the room is gonna love them, half the room is gonna hate them.
That's been the story of my comedy career, man. Listen, I'm taking big swings. I'm like the Russell Brand comedy. If I hit, I hit. But also,
wait, you're
like,
the who of comedy? Who is that?
Russell Branian, dude. Russell the Muscle.
Okay. All right, you froze there for a second, and it sounded like you said the Russell Brand of comedy, and I was like, "There's already one of those, and you don't want to be him right now."
If I had get him to the Greek money, dude, I'd be pretty stoked.
Yeah, I don't know.
If I had a hot guy body and like a British accent, like if I could dress like Chris Angel, Mind Freak all day long, and then like have like Alex Jones be on and be like, "Let's talk about the things you got right." That would be cool. Like I would have so much money. I wouldn't have to do my day job.
Have you heard about the charges? Like, yeah, things were fine for Russell Brand till like 4 months ago. Are you not up on what's going on with Russell Brand?
Oh, I know. I'm
Okay.
aware.
All right. Good. Okay. Good.
He's got that Forgetting Sarah Marshall money. He's got that Judd Apatow money, dude.
That's fair. That is fair.
Yeah, I know about that. But I'm like going back
good.
to COVID. I'm like, well, let's ask questions. But you know,
right. I don't know how I do this, but pivoting back to the Bucks and the last point I wanted to make about the game and the Bucks tonight, which is we've talked a lot about the MVP case for Giannis. And I know, like, you'll look at tonight's game and you'll say what we've said throughout the game, which is, yeah, but it's the Hornets. And you'll also look at his box score at the end, and not that impressive, 24, 8-1, not the most impressive Giannis box score that you've ever seen. But if you watch the game, which I hope people that have MVP votes do, but I often question if people who have MVP votes do actually watch these games, you saw a guy who dominated that Charlotte team in the first half. That, just like I said about holding him to 26 points in the first half, you can say it's Charlotte. The way he dominated them, not many guys in this league can dominate any NBA team the way that he did. It looked like a man amongst boys. It looked like an adult playing against children at various times in that game. And I think Giannis did put some things on tape that make you go, yeah, maybe that guy is the best player in this league and can dominate, unlike just about anybody else in this league can.
Yeah. Undoubtedly. He looks so much faster and stronger than every guy down, especially when he's posting up. Man, he looks like a bully.
He does.
Actually, another guy I wanted to kind of talk about, I wanted to touch on here. And there's a very specific reason that I want to bring up Bobby Portis. Remember the trade rumors? Grant Williams. Man,
yeah.
Bobby Portis made one hell of a case for being like, yeah, I belong here. There was, for all of his ups and downs and struggles and whatever we want to criticize Bobby Portis about, dude, he had like 16 points in the first half. Bobby Portis looked great tonight. He shot efficiently. He was like, I think he was 2 for 3 from 3 in the first half. Just taking good shots. You know, he was actually kicking the ball back out a little bit. You know, not as much as I would have liked. There were a couple times he was taking the ball into the paint. Dame was out there just alone. And I'm like, kick the ball up, Dame. Give it to Dame. Give it to Dame. Give it to Dame. But like, whatever. He made his little floaters and stuff. But like Bobby Portis looked really good tonight. And it just made me happy that Grant Williams is a goddamn fraud. Like he's such a joke of a player.
But you know what? And this really is the last thing I want to say because I gotta pee. But the
That's not how we play baseball.
Hold on, before I say it, let me take a big swig of water. But I saw Grant Williams out on that court tonight, and the only time during this game, and it was brief. It was a brief moment, but it was still a moment that I was unhappy during or not pleased watching this game. I saw Grant Williams, and I went, man, that motherfucker in the 2022 playoffs, that motherfucker was one of the people that put the dagger in you. Like that just does not say he's not good at basketball. And that thought crossed my mind tonight where I was just like, that dude, you let that dude do that to you. And again, I don't want to be negative. This is a very good night for the Bucks, but that thought did cross my mind tonight. Like if it was Tatum or Brown, fine, or even like Al Horford, and Al Horford did do some damage in that. But like Tatum and Brown both underperformed in that series, and it was really like it was Grant Williams and who was the other Williams? Robert Williams, who kind of tore you up in that series. And that thought ran through my mind tonight, where I was like, that motherfucker.
Robert Williams the third is at least big.
Yeah,
he's at least like 6'10". Like he's a guy who can play defense. Grant Williams is smaller than fucking Chris Middleton. And it's like, that's the guy. He's 6'6".
Yeah.
And he
that will never sit right with me, man. That will never sit right with me.
He looks like a ghost is always booping him. It's just I fucking hate his face, dude. Like he makes me mad.
And he does. Like, he has a very punchable face. I said it during that series.
He got punched and stayed that way.
He has a very, very punchable face, and that will always bother me that it was Grant Williams that did you in that series. Like last year when I was in Sacramento, and it was what the fuck was that guy's name who was rebounding like fucking Wilt Chamberlain in that series, and I was like, that's who you're gonna let beat you. Who's the big guy on Golden State? Fuck, I can't think of his name right now. No, not Kuminga. Shit. I can't remember his name, and it's honestly not important. Who gives a shit? I mean, light the beam and all that, but I can't.
Is the white guy on their team?
No, it was Looney. Keegan commented on the YouTube page. Kevon Looney. Yeah, it was Kevon Looney. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You know what I really appreciate is that Keegan Ford is 32 minutes into this. That's a dedicated fan, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Keegan. Thank you, man. And everybody else who tuned in tonight, we appreciate you. Check us out on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple. Follow, subscribe, rate, review, leave comments, tell a friend, retweet when you see the clips and the promotions. Help us grow this thing. We do appreciate you all checking us out, and y'all hopefully spreading the word about the Ramie and Drew show. Any parting words, Drew?
Yeah, I'm at the Laughing Tap this weekend.
Check them out.
Featuring for Column Terrell. So
look at that. Featuring.
I'm doing that all week long, talking about the Column weekend. It's going to be great. 3 shows,
featuring.
Friday, 2 on Saturday.
LaughingTap.com or MilwaukeeComedy.com to get your tickets. So check out Drew this weekend at the Laughing Tap. Thank you, everybody, for listening and watching and checking us out, and continue checking us out. Drew, I will talk to you again tomorrow on episode 26 of the Ramie and Drew Show.
Yeah, we got to think of something to talk about.
We'll round up a guest or something. We'll figure it out. Y'all will find out tomorrow when you tune in. We'll talk to you then.
All right.